Welcome to TVAI, your trusted source for global news powered by artificial intelligence, bringing you a shocking development in international relations that is sparking global debate. France demands the return of the Statue of Liberty amid political tensions. In an unprecedented diplomatic move, several French politicians have formally requested that the United States return the iconic Statue of Liberty to France. The demand, which has ignited controversy on both sides of the Atlantic, is reportedly driven by concerns that recent policies under the Trump administration conflict with the values the statue represents. The request was first raised in the French National Assembly on March 20, 2025, by a coalition of lawmakers from multiple political parties. They argue that the Statue of Liberty, originally a gift from France to the US in 1886, symbolizes freedom, democracy, and human rights. According to them, recent actions by the US government, including strict immigration policies, trade restrictions, and strained diplomatic relations with European allies, contradict the core ideals embodied by the monument. The Statue of Liberty was a gift to celebrate shared values between France and the United States, said French MP Jean-Luc Moreau in a heated parliamentary debate. But when a country openly disregards the principles of liberty and justice, should it still have the right to keep this symbol? A historical gift now at the center of a political controversy. The Statue of Liberty, or La Liberté éclairant le monde, Liberty enlightening the world, was designed by French sculptor Frédéric-Auguste Bartholdi and funded by both the French and American people as a gesture of friendship. It was intended to commemorate the centennial of American independence and to represent a mutual commitment to democracy. Since its arrival in New York Harbor in 1885 and its official unveiling in 1886, the statue has become one of the most recognizable symbols of freedom worldwide. It has welcomed millions of immigrants arriving in the United States, many of whom saw it as a beacon of hope and new beginnings. However, in recent years, critics have argued that the US has deviated from the very ideals the statue represents. The French politicians pushing for its return site policy, such as the tightening of immigration laws, including controversial deportation practices, rising nationalism and isolationist foreign policies, trade policies that have disrupted long-standing economic relationships with European nations, alleged human rights violations at border detention facilities. How can the Statue of Liberty stand in New York Harbor when America refuses to live by its inscription? Asked French Senator Elodie Rousseau, referring to the famous poem by Emma Lazarus, which reads, "Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free." International reactions. A symbol too big to be taken back? The US government has strongly rejected the French request. White House Press Secretary Sarah Johnson called the demand absolutely ridiculous and disrespectful. The Statue of Liberty is an integral part of American history and culture. It was a gift from France, and gifts do not have expiration dates, Johnson stated during a press briefing. "We are not going to engage in absurd debates about returning an American landmark." President Trump, known for his direct and often controversial remarks, addressed the issue on his social media platform, writing, "The Statue of Liberty is not going anywhere. France should worry about its own problems before trying to take back a symbol of freedom that has stood in our country for over 100 years. America first." His post quickly went viral, sparking debates online. Supporters of the Trump administration praised his firm stance, while critics accused him of further alienating the US from its European allies. Meanwhile, French President Emmanuel Macron has been cautious in his response. During a press conference, he acknowledged the historical importance of the statue, but distanced himself from the demands made by French lawmakers. "The Statue of Liberty remains a powerful symbol of the friendship between our nations," Macron stated. "While we recognize the concerns raised, we do not support radical actions that could damage Franco-American relations." Public reaction. Heated debates in both countries. The controversy has ignited intense debates on social media, with the hashtag #ReturnLadyLiberty trending in France, while #LibertyStays has gained traction in the US. French citizens have expressed mixed reactions. with some supporting the demand as a symbolic protest against American policies, while others believe it is an unrealistic and unnecessary political stunt. If the US no longer represents liberty, maybe it is time we take our statue back, tweeted a French activist. On the other hand, American citizens, including historians and cultural figures, have strongly opposed the idea. This is nonsense. The statue has been a part of our history for over a century, said historian Dr. Alan Whitman. France gave it to us out of goodwill, and now they want it back. That's not how history works. Legal challenges. Can France really take it back? Legal experts argue that France has no legal right to reclaim the Statue of Liberty. The statue was officially transferred to the United States with no conditions for its return. International law professor Dr. Catherine Bernard explains, "There is no legal precedent for reclaiming a gift that was given over a century ago. This is purely a political and symbolic argument rather than a legal one." While some French politicians have suggested the possibility of diplomatic pressure or even symbolic legal actions at international courts, most legal experts believe that such efforts would be futile. What happens next? Despite the controversy, it is unlikely that the Statue of Liberty will ever be removed from its pedestal in New York Harbor. However, the incident highlights growing tensions between the US and its European allies, particularly regarding ideological and policy differences. The debate may also push discussions about the symbolic weight of historical monuments and whether nations should be held accountable for living up to the ideals represented by such gifts. For now, Lady Liberty continues to stand tall in New York Harbor, watching over the city and reminding the world of the complex relationship between history, politics, and national identity. Historical precedents. Can national symbols be taken back? This is not the first time a country has attempted to reclaim a national symbol that was given to another nation. History is full of cases where cultural artifacts and monuments have been demanded back by their countries of origin. One of the most famous examples is the Elgin Marbles, a collection of ancient Greek sculptures that were taken from the Parthenon in Athens and brought to the British Museum in the early 19th century. For decades, Greece has demanded their return, arguing that the artifacts belong to their cultural heritage. However, the British Museum has refused to comply, stating that they were acquired legally. Similarly, Egypt has long requested the return of the Rosetta Stone from the British Museum, and numerous African nations have demanded the repatriation of cultural treasures looted during colonial times. Could France's demand for the Statue of Liberty be the beginning of a new global trend where countries attempt to reclaim historical gifts and symbols? Legal experts believe that while such demands may not be enforceable, they do highlight deeper issues of cultural ownership, historical justice, and the evolving interpretation of national identity. For now, Lady Liberty continues to stand tall in New York Harbor, her torch lighting the way for those who believe in the power of freedom and hope. Stay with TVAI for further developments on this story and more global news. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for real-time updates on the world's most pressing issues.